Hello dear listeners. Nature always gives us unconditional love. Don't you think it is worth fighting for saving them? When you ponder on that, let's hear the second part of the interview with Dr. NEETA PATHAW, Research Associate, ICAR IMPHAL, on the topic Influence of Environmental Pollution with our interviewer KAKCHINGTABAM RITESH Sharma. When you talk about all these scary pollutions that you just mentioned, so what are the major concerns, related to human health?
Since we share everything on our earth with every living thing on the planet,
Right.
what happens in one area also affects every other being too. So the consequences of releasing pollutants in air via releasing of chemicals or by burning of fossil fuels has a direct impact on our health. Breathing of polluted air puts us at risk for diseases like asthma
Right.
or respiratory diseases. You must have come across some news in Delhi. Normally in winters,
Right.
you see smog and all the particulate. So in Delhi, Times of India has stated that the city of Delhi alone, the air in the city of Delhi
Right.
constituted very high amount of particulate matter. And this particulate matter basically is the cause of many respiratory ailments, like I've already told
Right,
you,
right.
like asthma. Then these are also known to cause some cardiovascular diseases and are also known to have adverse effects.
Right.
During pregnancy, can lead to preterm birth or even death. Apart from that, there is an increased risk of cancer, coughing and wheezing, damages to the immune system, the hormonal system or the endocrine system, and the reproductive system of human beings.
So that's quite a lot of problem here.
Yes. This is with the humans. Now, we should not forget the other organisms with whom we share our planet Earth, that is the animals.
Right.
Animals also eat the contaminated plant and drink the water.
Right.
So basically the poison then travels to us via the food chain
Right.
because we consume the very animal.
True, yeah.
Okay. So just like air, water too is essential for our survival. So basically for our survival, air is needed. Water is also needed. Without water, we cannot go for many days. So we need clean water to drink.
Right.
Irrigate our crops. But if the water is contaminated, this can lead to widespread of diseases such as amoebiasis, typhoid, hepatitis, diarrhea, encephalitis, dermatitis, etc. And apart from these diseases, pollutants, water pollutants like heavy metals, which comprises of lead, pesticides and hydrocarbons, can further damage our hormonal and reproductive problems. This can also lead to damage of the nervous system and increase the rate of cancer.
Good. That's why cancer is always on the rise.
Yes, that is why. You see every other person you have come across has a relative or a known person who's suffering from cancer. There are different types of cancer.
Right. And you're working in ICAR and you come from an agricultural background, which is very important for us, and we are highly dependent on agriculture. So does this kind of pollution, environmental pollution, what's the amount of effect that can cause to agriculture? You must be knowing about that. So share a bit about that as well.
Agriculture and agriculture productivity. Now, as you see, our population is increasing tremendously worldwide. We were some 7 billion few years back. Another decade, we will cross another billion
Right.
milestone. So basically, to feed this huge population in a very small amount of land that is available, the agriculture also have to boost up its productivity.
Right, true.
So basically, agriculture and agriculture productivity is, yes, affected by all these environmental pollution. Now, the extent of damage due to different type of pollution differs. Because, the type of pollution differs, so the extent of damage also differs. Now, when you talk about damage due to air pollution, now air is a vital parameter for life, for us, so it is for the plants.
Right.
And all living beings. So, burning of coal, petroleum, smoke, coming out of vehicles, etc., they have all released a host of contaminants into the air.
Right.
And these contaminants are basically the aldehydes, the hydrocarbons, or the ozone, the organic acids, and the radionuclides which are present in the air.
Right.
Now, the effect of these pollutants on food, fiber, and storage and forest crop is variable. Now, depending on the concentration, the geography, and the weather conditions.
Okay.
The effects of pollution in plants have been observed by retardation in growth and the reduced production.
Okay.
So you see reduction in growth and reduced production, and we have a huge population to feed.
Directly proportional.
True. Effects of pollution in plants have been observed by retardation in growth and reduced production, and these generally are caused by changes in their metabolism.
Okay.
The plant metabolism. Then there are some changes in the cellular components of the plant, along with some physical changes, and then immediate tissue degeneration.
Okay.
So pollutants, coming to pollutants like acid gases which are present in the air, like fluorides, chlorine, and sulfur dioxide, these pollutants are also extremely toxic to plants and cause losses like to the plant pigment called chlorophyll, which is basically used for the production of food, that is photosynthesis, for the growth of the plant. You must have studied about the process of photosynthesis. Another is producing a mottled chlorosis and, ultimately leading to death of the plant. Now, different plants are known to have a certain level of tolerance to various pollutants. While some are known to be highly susceptible, some plants are known to be tolerant. For example, corn or maize is known to be more tolerant to fluorides that are present in air than tomato. This is according to a scientific study.
Okay.
Now, this is with the air pollution. Coming to the pollution of soil and water. Soil and water pollution adversely affects agricultural operations. For example, one of the pollutant, or you can call sedimentation or sediments, impairs the dissolved oxygen balance in water.
Okay.
Another is the nutrients of plant when it becomes out of place. Okay, so because these are the sediments. Sediment is the soil which is present, the topsoil. When it is washed away, okay, that means the plant loses that. It goes to another place. So probably appearing in ground or surface water. So these sediments, which basically contains nutrients for the plant, okay, when they appear in ground and surface water, this causes growth of unwanted aquatic plants. You must have been seeing in so many tanks all over Manipur. The growth of aquatic plants, which in turn clogs irrigation and drainage structures. And basically that is responsible for flooding of areas.
Yeah, instead of staying in the place where they are supposed to be, they have gone somewhere.
So these are there. Then apart from there, the inorganic salt accumulation in irrigated soil also affects plants adversely. Now, organic waste, apart from inorganic salts, then there are organic wastes which are emanating from municipal sewage. Now, that cannot be, because we have our agricultural fields not very far from the drains. So the organic waste emanating from municipal sewage or garbage or food processing industries or pulp mills or animal enterprises contain a huge amount of aerobic bacteria that are known to deplete oxygen in the water and thereby making the water deemed unfit. Another is after the aerobic bacteria has depleted the oxygen, the anaerobic form of bacteria further reduces the water body into an inert material which is normally found unfit for recreational use or farmstead supply or for crop irrigation. So basically, infectious agents from polluted water and soil are also known to harbor diseases. You have malaria, many viral diseases like malaria, encephalitis, and there are other bacterial diseases as well.
So they come out of this.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Environmental pollution goes hand in hand with developmental work that we do and with the various developmental activities that is going on. It is very difficult to minimize the work. So in your opinion, or since you are very much part of this, how can we minimize that?
There are many things one can do to reduce the impact on the environment. If we all use energy transport, say, and other goods and services more carefully, we can reduce a lot of the polluting impact on the environment. We can reduce, say, for example, harmful emission to our air, land, and water. So every day, if you see, the choices you have is a power to make a difference and help protect our environment for a clean and sustainable future. Now, having said that, there are various ways by which you can bring about, change in reducing the impact on the already polluted environment. Like, for example, by saving energy.
That's one thing, yeah.
One thing is saving energy. When you do not require, you can switch off the lights from all the other rooms. So you consume very less of electricity. Then checking your vehicles for vehicular emissions. Our vehicles are also a major source of pollution. So intermittently checking the vehicles for the vehicular emission. Apart from that, buying energy efficient appliances, especially the ones that now come up with environment friendly markings. Like if you have seen in the refrigerators, there are some stars which are given. So basically, the more the star, the lesser the emission that the appliances gives. So you choose a more energy efficient appliance. Then apart from that is buying environment friendly products like soaps, detergents, etc.
Even
that
cosmetics.
You use. Cosmetics, true. Now another very important measure is waste management at every level, be it household, office or business establishment. Now, if we want to reduce the impact on our environment, we need to do something. So that can only be done from us. So basically, one thing that I would really want to talk about is the segregation of waste, the solid waste from industrial waste, solid waste which comes from domestic households. Then you have industrial waste and e-waste. These can help in combating pollution successfully.
You mentioned e-waste now, so which is big concern because I'm using a phone right now. I feel like changing the phone again and I don't know what to do with the old phone. So even with computers or whatever electronic devices that we have in our house, so how we can tackle or how we can manage this kind of waste?
Now if we see, these are electronic waste. So basically those electronic products which are of no use now, like you can say old cell phones, DVD players, batteries, etc. So talking at the present context, the world is full of electronic goods of all shapes and sizes, and the list can go endless when we talk about the cords, monitors, desktops, cell phones, etc. Now a significant amount of these electronic waste, they end up in the landfills. Landfills, which are the sites where we dump our solid waste. So basically, these e-waste, they end up along with the solid waste, which unfortunately does not rot away.
It takes time, right? Well, we know many a little makes a miracle. Love thy environment as thee love yourself. It's never too late. We will meet again for the concluding part of the interview with Dr. NEETA PATHAW, Research Associate, ICAR IMPHAL, on the topic Influence of Environmental Pollution with our interviewer KAKCHINGTABAM RITESH Sharma. It's time to say goodbye for today. Until then, make a difference.